delicious.
Good morning, I'm Tom Spellman with Dave Wilson Nursery. This morning we're here at the Chino Basin Water District in Montclair, California to attend their WaterWise Festival for the summer 2015. And we walked into their little garden area here and found that they've got a really nice planting of fruit trees. They've got a nice brown turkey fig, a nice wonderful pomegranate, a beautiful persimmon, and then right down here they've got this nice planting, this nice 3-in-1 planting of plums. So exactly what we've been talking about in all of our backyard orchard culture efforts, you know, replicated right here in their demonstration garden. So people are really beginning to get the message on how to grow fruit trees in a tight space, how to grow varieties more compact and size manage, the successive ripening aspect. Backyard orchard culture is all the rage right now. So I didn't even expect to promote this today, but here it is. And one of the things that I've seen all around this project and all of their demonstration gardens is they've really done a nice job on mulching. So you've got a nice thick mulch layer here. It's kind of biodiverse. This is the kind of a ground forest product mulch, and there's several other different layers of mulch, but the mulch throughout this whole project, and I think one of the reasons that everything looks so good is the mulch is about 6 inches thick. And it looks like they've replenished it a couple of times over the last year or so. So remember, the main message on water conservation, mulch, mulch, mulch. So here's a few more fruit trees in the project, and you can tell they've been pruned intensely as short, bushy specimens. Here's a Bonita peach, here's a Panamint nectarine, here's variegated pink Eureka lemon, some other citrus, Morrow blood orange. So we're going to exit the little fruit tree planting here and go out into the main exhibit area, and we'll do some interviews with some people on why they feel it's important that they're here today and the promotion of water conservation in general. Today we're here with Alma Eichmann, and Alma, you're with the
Inland Empire Resource Conservation District.
And tell me a little bit about what your goal is here today, what you're promoting today.
Today we're just promoting conservation in water, and we have some landscape flyers and some of our flyers, which we do free educational programs K through 12 within our boundaries. And we're also raffling off these landscape books by Molly Boggs.
Very nice book on water conservation landscape. So have you talked to a lot of people this morning that are interested in what your message is?
Well, I've talked to a few, yeah, definitely.
And mainly you're into educating, like you said, K through 12. Yeah. So we're taking it down to a level where, you know, we want people to grow up feeling water conscious and understanding that this is going to be not just a whim, but something that we're going to have to live in the future.
Exactly, definitely.
Excellent. Well, Alma, I'm so glad that you're here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for doing what you're doing.
All right, thank you.
This is Quan Vong. He's with the West Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District. And even in times like this, when we're in a drought situation, it's really important to take mosquito control into consideration. Quan, give us a few tips on what to look for and you know, where to go and what to consider right now.
Oh, basically anything that has standing water, any standing water that you see, you want to dispose of it, because this much water can actually breed hundreds of mosquitoes.
Right,
if
right.
Being left it, so
if somebody just leaves a cup or a can, or you know, has a pot that doesn't have a hole in the bottom or something, it gets a little bit of the rainwater. And we've had several inches of rain over the last month or so. Exactly. So there's more standing water than we would normally see this time of year, and the weather's still really conducive for mosquitoes to breed. So
correct,
I think the message is basically, everybody take a close look at whatever standing water you have around, and things like old tires, or just something that you wouldn't even consider would hold enough water to breed mosquitoes. Right there is a perfect example. Couple 3 or 4 ounces of water and you can breed hundreds of mosquitoes. So take that into consideration and make sure that we're not breeding a mosquito population that's going to go into fall and winter. We want to make sure we take care of that right away. Any last minute tips? Anything else we can look for? Or?
Basically just kill all the mosquitoes.
Kill all the mosquitoes. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of getting a mosquito bite. So good message. Thank you, Quan. Thank you very much. I'm here with Rob Starr this morning with Toro Irrigation, and Rob has brought in all kinds of new technology, smart timers, and you know, just the new wave of what's being developed right now for irrigation management during our drought stress time. So Rob, kind of give me an overview of what you've got here today, and what do you think is probably the most important item you brought in today?
Well, we got lots of different items, but one of the first things people should really know if they go back and look at their irrigation system to begin with, it's the repair and the maintenance of that they can save a lot of money with that. That's the number one thing, so they don't have to go out and buy tons of things.
Absolutely.
If they fix what they got and see what's the problem, that'll help them. But dramatically, we have, if I can reach over to here, if we pull this up, we have what's called our Precision Series nozzles, and they're unique in the sense that unlike every other nozzle in the world, I'll take this off so you can see it, has little microchips, mechanical microchips. And what that does, when water goes through a typical nozzle, it hits the roof and goes out the little hole for a quarter, a half, or whatever. Ours is different. When they go through here, it goes into different chambers, and it gets divided and it gets compressed and goes out these chips. What it really looks like is a beautiful spray, but if you put a strobe light on it, it's really a single serpentine stream oscillating at 200 cycles per second. That way you make the water droplets larger in size and equal in size.
So you don't have as much evaporation
You don't get
and
the misting,
air movement. Right.
You get better distribution uniformity and such as that. It's the only one. And there's a program called freesprinklernozzles.com by most of the major water agencies throughout California, and all the homeowners can get $100 worth of these for free. If you're commercial, you can get as much as you want. So if you come from a nursery, you can get as many as you want at no cost. And we also have rotating nozzles that does the same thing. So that's into that.
Very, very nice. That's great technology, and I think I've seen some of the new head designs, and being able to take those water droplets where it used to be a really fine mist, and you just see it blowing away in the wind, and making that heavier, larger droplets to actually put the water exactly where you want it.
them.
I think that technology is wonderful.
This other, he's back here. We have our rotating nozzle, and what's unique about this whole product is you see a little
adjustment.
This throws out, our precision rotating nozzle throws out to 24 feet. Has 15 different streams. What's different about this to the competition, it has a 20-degree lower trajectory, so it doesn't throw the water up in the air. It has 10 times the torque, which is really, really nice. And the streams are at least 3 times thicker to fight the wind over anybody else's. Now what's unique in here, this is an in-stem regulator that we manufacture, and by using this little key, when you put it on, you can go from 24 feet down to 3 feet.
And can you adjust the circumference of the spray also
Come in
as
two
well?
versions, 45 to 270, and a 360 full circle.
So that technology it always has fascinated me, because we've gone from such a simple head configuration to now something that we can adjust the distance, we can adjust the arc, we can adjust the angles that it throws on, so you can make that head irrigate exactly the area that you want with no overflow at all.
Correct.
That's wonderful.
So that's got to be a unique product. Then we have our variety of controllers. We make a numerous plethora amount of controllers, depending on how exotic you want to get.
Yes.
We make simple controllers starting at about $80 all the way up to ones that'll do a whole city.
Now, and what I've found with the smart timers or the smart controllers nowadays, I remember 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was hard to find any of that technology for less than a couple $1,000s. And now, like you say, you can get a great system for a couple $100 or $300.
That's right. If you're part of the Chino Basin Water Conservation System, they'll give you a free, you can sign up, you can get a free Toro Evolution controller and the Climate Logic weather system at no cost. They'll even come out and install it for you, and you can get the nozzles installed for free. They'll do a free audit for you as well. A lot of water agencies are doing that with our products, and it's pretty unique.
I wish I was with Chino Basin Water District. Rob, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
I'm with Ricky Clark here this morning, and she's with the Inland Empire Water District Providers, and they have some messages here on the water cycle and some conservation tips. So Ricky, tell me what you guys are all about today.
Right, so we're out at the Chino Basin Water Conservation District, and this is our annual water fair. And basically we have kind of like the water cycle set up, and we're really just out here trying to educate the community on how they can use water efficiently and where their water comes from. Right over there we have our water cycle activity. Basically goes over the water cycle. You have evaporation, transpiration, condensation, and then of course precipitation. And we really just want to get the message across that there's no new water that we get. Our water is always going to be a reusable resource. It can get locked up in ice caps, it can go underground and be in our aquifers, or obviously it can go into the ocean and be undrinkable. But we basically just want to push the message that we have to do everything that we can to conserve the water that we do have, because we don't get any new water. So we have to be very responsible with it at all times.
Yeah, the water that's here today is the same water that was here 1 million years ago,
Exactly.
and we just keep running it through our
Right.
system, and we get rain and we get runoff, and try and conserve whatever we can and put whatever we can in the ground. But you're absolutely right. The message of water conservation right now is so important, and I'm so glad that you guys came today and put this together. It really makes a big difference, and to get the message out to as many people as possible, I think
Yeah.
that's what's most important today.
Absolutely. And just as long as the community knows, then the community can do it. We just have to get that information out to everyone and make it general knowledge, common sense. And once we do that, we'll be on a very, very good road.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ricky.
Thank you.
At our booth here, we're teaching children about the water cycle, the water journey. So each of these beads represents the different phases of a water drop. For instance, it starts in the clouds, comes down as rain or precipitation, it lands on the ground,
Turns into mud.
turns into mud sometimes, mudslides, yes. These would be the lakes, rivers, streams, and ocean, the plants, the sun, and then when the sun comes up, the water, the rain
Evaporation.
evaporates up
Back-
into the sky.
back to the clouds.
And it goes back into the clouds. It's a constant cycle.
That's very cool. So you're letting the students put together a nice bracelet there with all the phases of the water cycle.
We are, and they love it.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Hey, I'm here today with Clover Rogers, and you are with
The City of Upland.
City of
Water
Upland.
Conservation.
my home city, by the way.
Okay, good.
So
A nice city.
I noticed you guys are giving away these great packets today. So tell me what's in the packet. Tell me what you guys are giving away.
First of all, I'm giving you a reusable bucket that's collapsible to be stored away.
Wonderful.
Or to put in your shower and catch the water before it becomes warm.
Mm-hmm.
Use that water for your plants and your potted plants in your little small places that need water. We've got an outdoor water saving kit in here. We've got moisture meters in here.
Wonderful,
You
which
stick
I think
these in the
everybody
plants.
should have.
Stick them in your plants and see if it needs water. And you
Shut
got
off.
a hose nozzle.
Shut
with a
off nozzle.
positive shut off.
That's
These are all things that the whole area of Southern California is encouraging you to use.
Yes.
Because we're all got to save water together.
Absolutely. Right now I have about a 2-gallon bowl in my kitchen sink. So whenever we
Perfect.
run water through the kitchen sink, we don't let anything go down the drain. As long as it's clean water, it goes into the bowl and it goes out on the
See, you're
potted
our
plants.
kind of guy.
Absolutely. We all have to participate,
We
like
all
you
have
said.
to do this together.
Yeah, everybody needs to understand that it's not your neighbor's job, it's everybody's job.
Everybody's
to do it.
job. And don't let the cloudy skies and the little bit of rain we got fool you.
Oh, I know, it's not over yet.
Yeah, because we're 4 years deep into this drought.
I
It's going to
understand.
take a while to get out.
Clover, thank you so much.
And thank you for your
It's a
time, and
pleasure.
thank you for coming.
You bet, you bet.
All right.
I'm here this morning with John Garrison, Garrison Foothill Nursery in Upland, California, and John has been specializing for decades in water-wise plant material, and we're finally at a point now, John, where people are appreciating everything you've been doing and promoting for years. So give me some of your highlights. What do you have here today that's really cool, and so people understand that water-wise gardening doesn't have to be blasé, that they can actually do something that's going to give them color and function and make it look good.
That's exactly right, Tom. We've been working for several years and over 25 years concentrating on plants that are from the Southwest, from California. They naturally grow in a drier climate. There's many of them that bloom quite a bit, attract butterflies, and then hummingbirds also. We have quite a few here at the plant fair here that we brought along. This one right here, Sundrop, stays very low to the ground, spreads out with yellow blooms most all the months of the year. Lipstick sage right here, good one, about 3 feet tall, and depending on how the climate is, if it's cooler weather, the blooms are red. If it starts getting a little bit hotter, then the blooms will start turning to white and red, 2 tones.
Right, and this is one I have in my landscape. Loves to be cut back and just does. The more you structure it, the more it keeps blooming for you.
Have you
It's
noticed
good.
how the hummingbirds
They
visit
love
there
it?
often,
They
too?
love it. Absolutely.
Yes. And then, of course, other ones here, we attract butterflies with the milkweed or butterfly weed, and that one there attracts the monarch butterfly in particular. So that's a really good one.
And I just want to make it clear, it's called milkweed. It's not really a weed. It's a very worthwhile landscape plant in Southern California. Very drought tolerant and blooms, what would you say, John? Blooms at least half the year.
Whenever the weather's warm, so
Yeah.
that's most of our months.
Yeah, 6 to 8 months out of the year.
Yes. Sages are very nice to use too. Right here we have a low-growing one called Sky Lark. Only grows 12 inches tall. Baja Azul, that one grows only 3 feet tall. They get blue flowers on them. And once they establish themselves in the landscape, they do what we call naturalize. Where they need very limited water, almost to the point of where it's near to rainfall only.
Yeah, so once after established for say a year to 18 months in the ground, you can really start to cut back on the irrigation, and that's when they really become worthwhile. And again, they bloom for several months out of the year, and that purple blue flower is really beautiful.
Yes. So it's kind of like a changing landscape. We're seeing a lot of these types of plants being used more so in our landscapes. You see it in commercial landscapes. Many of the homes are being changed over to where you use limited amounts of water. Better thing to do for California. And also, we all know that in the future, water will be costing more and more. So
absolutely.
It's a good approach to use in landscaping today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, I noticed as we were walking around filming this morning that there's a huge group of volunteer students here today. So I just got this little group of students together. You girls are from Ayala High School?
Yeah.
And why are you here today? What are you doing today?
For the water fair.
You're here just for the water fair, just volunteering?
Yeah.
So what's your official duty here today?
We're selling the plants. Selling the plants. Yeah.
So you're selling plants, working with John and selling plants?
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Do you get the message that it's how important it is that we all follow water conservation tips? And
yeah.
Have you had a chance to walk around and look at the other exhibits and see everything?
So cool.
You got your face painted? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go do mine as the devil maybe before I leave.
That was cool.
All right, well, you girls have fun today, and thank you so much for being here and volunteering today. Your time is really important, and to have, the extra help here, the extra staff here, and just the fact that you're willing to come and participate and be involved in water conservation means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here this morning with Terry Donovan, and Terry's with the UC Cooperative Extension Master Gardener Group here in San Bernardino County. And Terry, how long have you been involved with the Master Gardener Group?
Since 2011, and then I remember Dave giving a presentation.
I've given presentations to your group before, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So tell us a little bit why you're here today at the water conservation event.
Okay, well, this is a good gig for volunteering. It's nice to be able to work with the public and talk about different pests that they might have. So we have integrated pest management, and also information about not topping your trees, but how to prune trees. And so general information in the public, it's great to get their reaction. And we've done Home Depot booths before too, but this is a better presence. We get a lot more of the public at this event.
Yeah. Now, when you say not topping trees, we're talking ornamental trees, shade trees.
Right.
But you know my philosophy on fruit trees.
Yeah, you do the V pruning, right?
Well, we do the low managed canopies so that no fruit's really going to waste, so that you can manage the trees from the ground.
Right. And many people say don't get on ladders as well.
Exactly.
Too,
so
you don't want to fall off
with our backyard orchard culture philosophy on fruit tree pruning, you never have to drag a ladder out.
Right. And then you do several plants in one.
Several
hole.
plants together in one hole. So 3 in 1, 4 in 1, multiple budded plants. Hedgerows style plantings, all different ways that you can incorporate fruit trees into a backyard landscape and make it more effective and more functional and more eye appealing and useful to the landscape.
Right. And there's 2 other ladies at the Master Gardener booth here today at the Conservation Fair, and one of them has got five different varieties of fruit growing on the same rootstock.
Absolutely. Multiple graftings can become a real popular method for growing successive ripening varieties in a small space. It's all about what we really want to promote is people's ability to grow fruit all year long in their backyard. And if you grow like a farmer, a big tree on a wide space, there's no way that people can accommodate that. So by multiple planting and multiple grafting and growing successive ripening varieties in a small space that are size managed, you can actually harvest from your backyard each and every day.
Right. And Barbara Dawson here at the Master Gardener booth today also is a master food preserver. So that
I noticed that you guys had that going, and I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. So it's good to be able to manage your produce. I have apples that I need to slice up, and apples actually have the more fiber than any other plant anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So I need to learn to preserve those, pick them before they fall on the ground, and get critters feeding off them.
Well, actually, we just did a video yesterday down at the Irvine Field Station on our apple project down there. So watch our website within the next 2 or 3 weeks, both for this video and for the video that's going to change the way people conceive apple growing in Southern California.
Yeah, sounds good.
Terry?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you.
Pleasure working with you
Okay,
today.
thank you.
Here's something that I think is worth capturing. I noticed on our way out into the main exhibit area, here's an 1,100 gallon tank that's attached to the rain spigot on the roof of this building. So they're collecting all of the rain runoff water on this building to be used right here in the landscape. So a system like this, 1,100 gallons at a time, it doesn't take a whole lot of rain to fill up an 1,100 gallon tank when you're harvesting from such a large roof area like they are here. So this is absolutely one of the new technologies in water conservation and making good use of the natural water that we get that just falls in the way of rain.
Uh-oh.
See, even turtles like fresh fruit.
Mira que se halló vivo en el palito él. Este habla muy español.